You about ready? All right, it is 5 o'clock, so let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. And if you would, please take a look at the minutes. Any changes or motions to approve?
I have a couple comments.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentence down in the first one there. The yeah, Eric, that's just a question for later. That's not. Go over on the second page. Second paragraph, third line, that really awkward sentence there. Mr. Fox wanted to present it to the public and board of benefit having. My suggestion is clarify that a little bit, is take that it out. Mr. Fox wanted to present to the public and the board the benefits and stick an of in there, having ARRF, so on and so forth. And then the next sentence, just strike out will bring. Make it a little clearer to read and understand. No, this other one's a question. That's all I saw.
Any other comments?
Make a motion to approve the minutes with the included changes.
We have a motion to approve with the changes. Any, do I have a second?
I'll say.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll pass.
All right, we have one opposed.
No, it's a pass. The non-vote.
All right, the approval of the minutes has passed. Moving on to discussion items. Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding airport financials. Adam?
Yes, ma'am. So in your packet, you should have the profit and loss statement. I apologize, Chair. 1 second. I really apologize. Set mine on my desk. Apologize. Okay, starting with the profit and loss statement per usual. We're looking at a FBO inventory income, which is our fuel sales, $193,946.90. Several other FBO fees, hangar, ground lease revenue being appropriated. We have a total income of $254,556.56. Minus our cost of goods sold, which is $109,000, leaves a gross profit of $144,000. Our total expenses for the month of July, the period is $89,663, leaving a net operating income of $55,000. Net other income, we're looking at $633,000, which is comprised of grant money, $651,000. We have air show sponsor income that we've obtained during the period of $18,000, air show tickets $1,800, and interest from our bank account money market of $973. Our net income total is $688,633.34. The balance sheet, few takeaways here. Bank accounts, 1.3 million at the end of the period. Accounts receivable, we're at $15,327.39. Inventory assets, line item 125 is noteworthy, $89,725 worth of assets, which is our fuel. Our total assets for ending July 31st, 2025, $16,932,931.54. I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for Adam about the balance sheet of the profit and loss statement?
The interest expense is for the loan for the North Texas.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments or questions?
Make a motion to accept the financials as presented.
All right, I have a motion to accept as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the airport financials has passed. Do you have anything else for airport financials, Adam?
No, ma'am, not this.
I do have one question for you. I know previously we had discussed about getting a potential loan for that long-term loan that we discussed, that you brought up, I don't know, probably back in March or April, maybe. Do you have any update on that?
I do have a brief update. It's nothing that is tangible as of right now, but discussions are being had as far as the feasibility. Basically, I've asked a couple questions that an underwriter would ask and just seeing if we qualify with our current operations for it, because basically it is like a normal loan you walk into a bank. So being able to justify that is what I want to do. But the project that was proposed, which is the Frisbee golf area, as far as acquisition of that, building that apron and trying to build some hangars, that is what we're discussing.
Anything else for Adam before we move on? All right, moving on to discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding airport projects. Adam?
Yes, ma'am. Start on the Northwest. Last board meeting, I talked about the project as a whole, and we discussed the contract with GMC and approved that. So just a little update there. The North Apron Phase 1, which will ultimately become our cargo apron, a concrete apron on the northwest side of the airport. That project is just wrapping up the grant offer phase, which goes to the 4 entities currently. Our due date was this week, and we just got it in through all of their checks and balances to get that signed. So that is done. The state grant offer has already come and gone, and so as far as getting that project underway, as usual, we start the worst time of the year, the fall, but that's just how the FAA works. So that project is going to be a great addition. It will help us to have a true red dirt ready site, continue the mission that we approved way back in 2022-23 time period, which is to have that fully developed. Fortunately, funding is a big issue, so we're taking it one bite at a time. Southeast taxiway project, we had one item still outstanding that we are now wrapping up. So that project, we had some dirt to move. We were able to repurpose that dirt on the northwest so that we have a level site for the next hangar, which was part of the project in the original scope, was to haul off. It was 20,000 cubic yards of dirt. The road project, the industrial development access that we partnered with Limestone County on, we had our final walkthrough today. They had very minor changes, a few rocks here and there, and a little rut here and there. But outside of that, that project is complete. It's a beautiful road. Aviators Drive, I believe, is the name of that, on the southeast side of the airport, on the other side of the ball fields. Our sewer force main project, we're working to get closer to testing that, bring in water trucks and test that to make sure all of it passes. Limestone County Water and Sewer was on the site looking and confirming some of the electrical things, and that project is on schedule. As of right now, that project, I believe, is slotted to be completed at the end of the month. So unless we run into any issues with weather or things like that, I believe that project will finish on time and under budget. That is all I have for airport projects. I'll stand for the questions.
That's
good.
a question. That big pile of dirt over here on the southeast.
Mhm.
What's that for? Or what's it gonna be used for?
So basically, it's a temporary holding location for the dirt, so they can fill in back with the project. So the entire, I guess, site right now, if I had to guess, is probably around 12 acres roughly, if not a little bit more. And so some of that dirt is going to be what fills back in. So they're going to be stripping away a lot of that topsoil, putting it there, and then when they come back in to fill in, they'll use some of that dirt.
Okay, when you said you're talking about the
Yes,
fill up here, okay, you're getting that from somewhere else then?
yeah, that's our dirt. This is their dirt. So it's two different dirt piles. So we're still in conversations over where the final dirt is. It won't necessarily be topsoil. It'll be what they dig out for the retention ponds as part of that project. But yeah, they're moving along very well.
What's really behind my question is, it's gonna take a lot of fill up here.
Absolutely.
And I was just curious where all that fill is gonna come from. Right? Are we gonna be able to provide it, or are we gonna have to get fill brought in?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if there's an opportunity to move dirt somewhere that's going to save us money in the next phase of a project, we're going to push for that.
Mr. Minor?
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the Northwest project and just get clear on where we're at. I know we built a taxiway twice. That
We're gonna have to. Oh, the big door.
is, we've already built it twice. Now we gotta tear it out and do it again, right? We're waiting on bid. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we are, we had a certain amount of panels, about 20 panels. So when we poured out the second time, it was about 20 panels. Aldot came back and is basically rejected. We rejected all of the concrete. So yes, we are working with the same contractor that did the southeast. That was a parent load for the one that I spoke about a minute ago, which is the next phase of the Northwest, which is the apron side. But yes, that concrete is going to have to be bust out and repaired. And so where we are currently with that is we're still waiting to get some of our questions. We have received a preliminary and we've asked questions and we haven't got the final back to me yet, but we'll take that to Aldot. We'll take that to the contractor and their surety, which is who's responsible for paying that.
Who was responsible to oversee the first two projects that are both wrong?
Yeah, so BECC is the contractor, which was our representative on hand or on the site. Essentially, the conflict through the project is we not to air out all the dirty laundry in this setting, but we've questioned things, we corrected things, and they told us to politely move out of their way. And the result is where we are today, which is now you're gonna have to pay for
Yeah,
it twice.
that don't answer the question, who's responsible?
Wiregrass,
Okay.
they're the
We've
prime.
been waiting for how many years to get this right? 2 years? It started two
Roughly.
years ago or longer?
Something like that, yes, about 2 years ago.
It's costing the airport money. And we can't build any hangars there, right? If somebody wanted a hangar.
Yeah, but basically we would,
Who's responsible for number 3 if it's wrong?
it would then be the new contractor that would be building.
Yeah, the point I'm making is, this is an ongoing and we're talking about, you mentioned a loan about for South here, right? It just, I don't know, we can't get finished with the projects we got. Is my point, I guess. This ongoing project here, it seemed like it needs to be a priority. If it can be made a priority, and how do we know we're gonna, I know we don't know. But I guess just to make a long story short, getting to the responsible party and what's the end of that? Does the airport just lose?
Absolutely not.
Well, I don't know, it's 2 years in and we don't have a taxiway.
Our interest is.
Yeah, we're paying interest on a loan that's no good to us.
So the interest is something that's recoverable through the surety. as well as other damages per the contract. Jimmy and I have been working hand in hand on this. And, essentially some things take a little time, getting pricing back and that kind of stuff. Sometimes that's a 2-month process in itself and
Well, that's good to hear. I hadn't heard that we're going after any way to recover some of our losses.
yeah, we spoke about it 2 board meetings ago. I'm not sure if you were present in that one, and we mentioned something last board meeting. But yes, we will, their surety is responsible
Okay.
for the success of that.
Okay, very good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I missed it or wasn't here.
Yeah, no worries.
Any other comments or questions on airport projects? All right. Moving on, to executive session. Mr. Adams, you have been briefed on discussion. Can you confirm that it meets the parameters of an executive session? Okay, perfect. Do we have any motions to enter into executive session?
I make motion, we enter executive session.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Fowler,
Aye.
Mr. Hull,
Aye.
Mr. Minor,
Aye.
Mr. Scherf. All right, and I am an aye as well. So we will reconvene after this executive session. I'm estimating 20 to 30 minutes. That's my best guess, but we will reconvene afterwards. I will come get you. Will you make sure that
I will.
thank you.
How you doing, Jim?
Fine.
Good to see you
Other
again.
than being tardy. Yeah.
You're good.
I've only been doing this for like 5 years and I called here at 5:30.
You are
Been
good.
that long, huh? Been that long? It's
It's a good problem to have. Yeah. You know, I see those, it was funny, we were on the other side of Knoxville. And I saw a McCurdy rental van go past us, and I was like, that's, they've got a reach now. Cause I've always just kind of thought of them as like a local hometown. Judith, you'll have to silence your phone again.
Well, I thought it did. That must be one I missed.
Hey, did you turn this back on?
It is,
Okay.
just a few seconds ago.
And that noise will call us back into open session. We are going to go ahead and move on to discussion, consideration, and possible action
There's a motion.
regarding airport director employment contract.
Okay.
Do you have a motion?
Yes,
All right.
that was my motion.
You have to say
You can
that.
say.
one. You remember what it was?
Remember the exact wording, but,
Mr. Powell, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to empower the chairwoman to negotiate with the airport director for his employment contract.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
that's what I said. That's second.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the 2026 budget. Adam?
Yes, ma'am. So in your packet, you're gonna have your proposed 2026. Going to hit the high points. For the most part, this budget is very similar to FY 2025. There's just a few changes. Point out some of those changes. We have fine-tuned the revenue income side of things, but we're very conservative on the revenue side of things, meaning that, you know, under FBO fuel sales, we have 1.7 million based on the projections and other things. That is something that we hope to surpass. Farm rental, we have 10,500. There are a couple acres that is now, because of the southeast, missing. Last year was 14,000 and some change. And so we have undershot what that could be. Hangar rental, I've included, we've made several adjustments. So we've got, 4 new changes here in the form of extra hangar
I know.
rental income coming in, FT Air being one. AOG Solutions is another company that's here. And we have Air Evac taking a square footage space in our southern corporate hangar and an office space as well. So now you can see that that is 447,000. We're showing ground lease revenue at 25,000 essentially. So this is inflated just a little bit from the FY 25 budget. Our expenses, cost of goods sold are flat for the most part. Do think that there's going to be a cyclical pattern, as always, to the price of fuel as we buy it. The expense itself, all the expense total, I'll start there, is 1.1 million. This is inflated just a little bit on some part-time positions next year for the payroll side of things. That is an increase. There's several other things, like some of the office supplies is down a couple $100. Some of the utilities is down just a little bit, just based on this previous year, just trying to guess and fine tune that. The net ordinary income is $203,599, and this compares to the previous year, which is 138,000. So essentially, our revenue has increased just a little bit based on the hangar rent itself, because we've got leases, so we can really nail that down. Our expense, most of our line items, have decreased a little bit, with our payroll increasing just a hair. We do have listed in there, interest expense, which is $32,000, which is the interest being recorded on the financial statement from the construction loan that was mentioned earlier. I think there was a question about that. So, basically, with the interest expense and other things, we're looking at about $135,000-ish increase in the expense side from the previous budget. Below the line, other income and expenses, I've recorded and reflected last year's appropriations. City of Decatur, we took a 10% decrease in appropriations, so you can see that there at 27,000. We have the City of Athens and Limestone County at 30,000, and Morgan County, which historically gives us the most, at 40,000. I have put in item 430, grant FAA ALDOT, which is our grants that we received from the federal government and from ALDOT flowing through. That number is a conservative number. With the reimbursement for the Northwest, it's actually going to be a little bit closer to 1.4 million. Air show income, we've got air show 525,000, which is reflecting some predictions this year. Construction loan, for the expense side of things, you have the construction loan reflected at 127K, which is that interest build up and other things. We've got air show expense, 310,000. We have our normal airport repairs and maintenance, and we have our depreciation expense listed, which brings our net income to 1.1 million. In your packet, you should have some charts. Just kind of, you can see a better picture of all the information I just ran through very quickly. At the very beginning, you've got operating cash flow from the budget, so the proposed 2026. You can see in the graph, you've got a long column up that's talking about total income, which represents 2.4 million, almost 2.5 million. Then you have the cost of goods sold being decreased, which leaves the gross profit, which is going to be 1.4 million. And then you have the total expense, which is reflected at 1.1 million, which leaves the net ordinary income of 203. The next graph, you got net operating income from the budgets. So I've taken FY 24, 25, and then now the proposed of 26. So you can see net operating income from the budget. We predicted roughly 175-ish thousand for FY 24. FY 25 is that 138,000, and then you can see the 200. The most that we've had in the last 3 years is FY 26, the one that we're proposing today. In the next graph, I have actually put in the actuals and the proposed. So FY 24 it's 100, I think it's 177,000 was the actual, 170,163. FY 25 year to date, which goes through the end of July. Currently, we are at 286,000. So you can see that reflected there. And then the proposed, again, 203,000. The next two graphs, you got the total expense from the budget. I wanted you to see FY 24, FY 25, and FY 26 proposed. You can see that the graph goes kind of like your Verizon bars years ago, that commercial, right? So you can see that obviously our expense over time, the cost of doing business has increased. If we sell more fuel, we have more expense. So you can see that increasing. Now, the next graph, the total expense actual. In the budget, we're projecting what we think we're going to spend, but in reality, what we're trying not to do is not spend all of that, right? We want to be as profitable as possible. So the next graph, total expense actual, you can see that FY 24 was a little over 800,000. FY 25 year to date is, let me get you the exact number here, 748,000. And obviously we were 992,000, almost a million for the proposed budget. So obviously with our 1.1 million, our goal would be to not spend that amount. Our goal would be obviously to come way under that expense. With all that, I'll stand for any questions.
Questions for Adam about the proposed budget?
The construction loan, 127. Is that already started? Is that, what is that?
So that's what we pay monthly. So that's our mortgage, if you will.
Okay.
So that's what that is. And so, each month we have that interest that's carried over to the P&L that you see, and then the rest goes to principal. And, so we're paying that monthly, and then, at the end, in our grants that we have, the AIG and the AIP, if needed, we'll use that to actually reimburse ourselves for what we've paid. So every month we're reducing that, and once a year with that grant, we're putting it to the principal.
So the air show expense of $310,000, is that an increase or is that an estimate of what our plan for this year's air show?
No, this year,
This is October.
no, this is 2026, so it is an increase from this year in the expense side. So we're projecting
Next year.
for next year. Yes, sir. So be September
This is
26.
October.
Be October, or excuse me, September of 26 air show. And the increase has gone from, I believe the budget was approved, it was 275,000 for this year. And so we've gone up just a little bit. What we saw from 23 to now is people like Skip Stewart, they went from $10,000 to 12,000. So we're just kind of putting that in there.
Any other comments or questions?
What are our cash reserves for year ending 24, 25, and 26?
Great question. So as far as, I've got 25, I've got 24 and 25. I don't have 23. I
Well, you
don't
should
know
be
if you
able
have
to estimate it, shouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. So in 24, we were at 993,000. It's 864,000 for FY. That's the start of FY 25. And currently, we're at 793,000. So from the difference is essentially our projects and our match money. That's what it is.
Yep.
Which we've invested since FY 23, which is the first full year with me. Our assets was at 10 million. Our assets today is at 16 million, if you recall the report on the balance sheet. Just from 24 to 25, we've had an increase of 3.2 million in our total assets. So basically, we go out and we get all the grant money and we have to match our 5%. And in some cases here recently, our 2.5%, which is fantastic.
So what, if you had to ballpark it, what would be our cash reserve for 26?
Our cash reserve for 26, the end. So my goal obviously is, you can see I didn't have a whole list of items that we needed to buy, out of budget repairs.
I mean, there's gonna be some projects that,
200,000 more than what we have right now.
yeah, because we're gonna end some projects, we're gonna pay out our match, and then they're gonna start to come to fruition. So we're basically gonna go right back to where we were in 24.
Yeah, it's been a cyclical pattern on our operating cash. But basically, when I got here in 23, we were at 700, I think 63,000 or somewhere around that mark. That's the number I'll have to go find for you, but it's just a cyclical thing as we do a lot of major projects with our match money. And with the air show and how it's structured today, that is going to be a way of investing back for our match money. That's what I envision with the air show. You take that, whatever projects that we have going on to meet the industry demand, that's where we get our match money. Prime example, the match money for the $3.2 million taxiway was 177,000.
Right.
Which is that number that you're basically seeing, because that was our major project this past year.
Any other questions or comments for Adam? Do we have any motions to approve?
I move we approve the proposed budget as presented.
All right, we have a motion to approve the proposed budget as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 2026 budget has been approved. All right, and I'm moving on to airport director's report.
Yes, ma'am. So we had a historic high for the month of July. Since any information that I've been given, which goes all the way back to 2015 with the previous FBO. We sold 33,195 gallons of jet fuel in the month of July, comparing that to last year of 23,602. I'm hoping this is the catch-up period for us being closed the month of November, essentially. Month prior, we sold 22,000. Our year-to-date is 230,000. 100 low lead avgas, 4,480 gallons, comparing that to the month of July last year of 4,053 gallons. So we had an increase in avgas. The month prior, we sold 5,100. Our annual year to date is 39,000. FBO operations by the numbers, some of the things to call out here, our revenues about 193,000, our cost of goods sold about 108,000, which brings our gross profit margin to 43.93%. Fees for the month of July, $20,574 in fees. That's our transient people that have basically selected not to pay or not to get fuel, and there's a ramp fee or facility fee or something like that for overnights and those coming in. That's also our forklift fees and trucking fees. So that's what that's made of. That's not our base tenants. Hangar rent, $37,728.93. The same time last year, we were at 20,400 and some change in hangar rent. So recruiting businesses, getting businesses here, you can see that direct correlation there, and hoping to continue to get more businesses here. Concessions, $222.75. I don't know that I have that much product to sell 22,000. Virgile report, I'll just hit the high notes here. 1,650 business jets, 103. 103. The only thing that's not more than is single engine operations. 103 business jets. We are that Gatewood, North Alabama, that business executive airport, and love helping everybody outside of our fence have success. Public involvement, two Rotary speeches this past month, talking about the airport, talking about the Airfest. We've got a lot of people kind of educating themselves on what we're doing. They're coming out to the airport, hosting events. They're getting involved a lot more and trying to share the good message that Pryor Field is growing. Spoke at Kiwanis and Decatur as well about all the things just mentioned. Attended State of Limestone County event, partnered with NASA on the air show several months ago, and I attended one of the events with them, just kind of showcasing the air show to all of their employees. The 44,000 people that were invited from Mudstone to that event. North Alabama Airfest, year to date, some noteworthy things we've collected from all of our sponsorships. Currently, there's still several outstanding, but 140,000 in sponsorships. That's not the in kind, that's just the monetary for right now. We've added, the most recent sponsor is Huntsville International. So we've added them to sponsor our event. Total reach, we're just now starting our marketing campaign that was approved in the budget for last year. But we've been pumping things out on social media. Our social media reach today is 435,000 people. That's how many people that has seen either our ad or our post or something. That is absolutely amazing. Currently on Facebook, we're showing people that are interested in the event. If you think about 23 air show, at this point in time, about a month away, I think we had somewhere between 1,500 to 1,700 people. We have over 6,100 people that have responded to the event. Most people are not going to start buying tickets until 2 weeks out. Our other advertisements, you'll see billboards around town. There'll be a lot of billboards. The closest one is Great American RV. So you'll be able to see it as you're stuck in traffic trying to get over the bridge. Pay attention. You'll see 4 different ads there with the Titan team, the Army Golden Knights, and the F-35, several other great things there showcasing our event.
When will those begin?
The billboards are going right now.
Oh, they're up.
Yeah, the only one that's not up and going is the billboard in front of the U.S. State Rocket Center. So that one will be 2 weeks before the event. So that's the only thing they had available. Apparently, that's the number one requested billboard in Huntsville. So, and it's got a price tag with it. But we're partnering with Success Marketing. Karen Foster, she's been great to work with. She has got a whirlwind of interviews with TV, radio, and a lot of other things to help us. I do believe, in the words of Jimmy Hodges at Calhoun, we're going to have a parking problem, not a people problem, which is great. That's all I have for the North Alabama Airfest. New developments, I just want to mention this. Lots of conversation with Limestone County. Of all the entities, only one entity directly benefits from what the airport does, and that's Limestone County. And in conversations, starting down the path of answering all the questions, how do we get our taxes back, our ad valorem tax? We get a small portion in appropriations. That is happening. I think all of us that own aircraft that pay taxes, I'd love to see, and several people have come to me recently saying this is, hey, I'm looking at my tax bill. I want to see, does this come back to the airport? Because if not, I'm going to challenge what the price tag is, what the state is evaluating my asset as. And, I think that would be really great. That'd help us a lot with our projects, especially as we continue to grow, especially the business aircraft that are paying a lot more in those taxes. That's going to help us further the development and build hangars, more important. So that's all I have as far as the director report, minus a few things I do want to mention. We've got our accountants here. They have come. We didn't have to use any resources. Those people are a lot smarter than I am when it comes to financials, but they've been doing a great job. Jenny and Kana, they have to deal with me at least once a month, and they've been doing a great job for us. In the back, we have Denise Marco. She is the newest hire here. She's helping us market and bring events here. And we've got a lineup of a lot of great things in the future. One I'm very excited about is the Air Race Classic. All the women, it's going to be 65 teams, I think, total. That'll be coming here. I think that's going to be great. And I believe we're going to be an overnight stay. So what that means is Denise is going to be getting hotel rooms. Obviously, they're paying for them, but we're going to be that mediator between the two so that we have a successful event.
And then,
Do what now? Yeah, absolutely. We've got people already asking to volunteer. So anyways, with that being said, I will close off on my report. I'll send for the questions.
I have one alibi. And that's going back to the minutes.
Yes.
Where are we on the comment here was about plenty of people are wanting hangar space, and grace periods are starting to get abused.
I'll have to go back.
That was under airport development in the current minutes
Yeah,
of last meeting,
I'll have to go back and look at that.
trying to figure out what is this about?
What it is, that I know exactly what it's about. What it is our invoices go out on the 2nd of each month. They are due on the 15th.
Mhm.
We have a pretty large group that won't pay until the following month. And we have a select group that they aren't paying at all. And Jimmy and I have worked on one even most recently with a private hangar that has been vacated the premises. And we are helping him offload the asset because it hasn't moved since I've been here. And so that person owes quite a bit. They've been violated, or they have received violation fees per our fee schedule for the past due amounts. And that's what that was referring to, is essentially paid bills. We all have bills. We're all adults. And there's a long list of people here that want to come here, want to fly every day. They want to be like a Colonel Hall, right? They want to fly a lot. Those people that aren't flying, that aren't paying their bills, I've got bills associated with them being here, so I need them to pay
So
their.
we're becoming proactive then.
That's what I was referring to. I'm being proactive.
Okay, and essentially over time freeing up some more hangar space.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other comments or questions for Adam's director's report? All right, moving on to public comments. Any public comments?
sorry, that was a public comment, but I forgot that we weren't finished.
Oh, about the Air Race Classic?
Yeah. I think that's a great thing.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? All right. Well, the next board meeting is going to be September 9th. Do I have anyone that would like to leave?
Make a move.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Can we turn the heat up?
6:24.
Is it cold back there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you, sir.
I've got, oh, man. My teeth are chattering. It's hard to enunciate words.
Good to see you.
Seeing you. Yeah. Yeah.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Where's the more fur?
Fine.
Adam.